You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of allgames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, furries, and ninja robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today is Saturday, September 9th. This is episode 195. I was off to such a good start. This is episode 195 of HorsePLAY Live, tentatively titled. I wrote this death note for you. See, you lose it. You lose your steam, and shit happens. Hey, people are rolling into the Discord already. Sweet. So yeah, I'm your bald bear lizard host, Yogizilla. Just got back from Chicago. And doing the show about 2 days later than we usually do it. Because we do this show, if you don't know, every Thursday night, usually, at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. GMT/BT. And earlier in the day, you catch our replays, our reruns. I like to call them HorsePLAY Replay. At 5 p.m. Eastern over at allgames.com, our unofficial sister network. Allgames.com, All Games Radio Network. And we'll warn you that this is an NSFW show, so parents, you may not want your kids listening to this, and I don't want to be a bad influence. I'm a parent myself, so I understand. But we've been pretty good. We haven't been going completely off the rails. We've been pretty tame as of late. You don't always have to cuss up a storm and get raunchy to entertain folks. I guess at the top of this show we should talk about what's going on in the world as a whole, not just in our community, and certainly not just in my world. But Hurricane Irma, or as I like to say, with a more Spanish sound, Irma. She's kind of a bitch. It's causing a lot of heartache in the southeast, particularly. But it's having a ripple effect. People are flying from certain areas to go help support Florida. Plane trips are being canceled. Then there are planes being rerouted. And then there's planes randomly doing maintenance and using Irma as an excuse. It has been a hell of a time for travel in the last few days. Of course, we have this is all on the heels of Hurricane Harvey, which devastated parts of Texas. Texas is a massive state, but certain pockets were hit hard. And when I say massive, Texas is huge. I remember one time looking at it. If you go up from the southernmost part of Texas to the northernmost part, it'd be the equivalent of me driving from Georgia to New York City, which is pretty significant. That's how big Texas is. And yeah, just rough estimate. Need to think about traffic and all that stuff, but anyway, tangent there. So yeah, this is kind of 0 hour I believe, like, I've been watching the news on and off. CNN has been doing pretty much 24/7 coverage. Anderson Cooper and a bunch of other people on site at different places. For example, it wasn't supposed to hit Cuba. It was kind of skirting around the coast, northern coast of Cuba, and then going upwards. And Cuba still got hit. That's how strong the winds are. Not even being the direct path. It was upgraded to Category 5 this morning. Now it's back down to Category 4, but the thing is, the thing that makes it tricky is that it's sustained winds. So, when you think about winds, gusts of winds, no matter how strong, you can survive it. There's a little pew-pew, right? But sustained winds like a constant machine gun barrage, right? It's just hammering away. And it's a big difference. Now let me get someone in here that's gonna join us. Someone I was hanging out with while I was in Chicago. All right. So yeah, if you're, by the time you hear this, might be too late, but if you're in an evacuation area, try to get the hell out of there. I know sometimes that's financially possible, so if you do have to stick around, can't get to a shelter, let people know where you are, tighten things up, get rid of anything that could fall down and cause a hazard, glass, for example. Board up your windows. Take whatever measures you can. Usually sturdy homes will be fine, especially if you have like a concrete home, but cement, whatever. But it's still, you're talking about, at a Category 5, they were talking about 180 mile per hour winds. Now at a Category 4, there's more around 130. That's still significant. So praying for y'all that are in the direct path of Irma, including our friends and family in Savannah. And there's a domino effect because people are cleaning up stores in Alabama, Georgia, surrounding areas. I think even Tennessee is getting impacted. Might even be going as far as Oklahoma. People just fanning out from Florida to seek refuge. It's crazy. And Puerto Rico got hit really hard. Without electricity, a lot of people's homes are fine, but they have no electricity, so that's tough. And who knows when that'll be restored. So our thoughts and prayers go out to folks in Puerto Rico. But anyway, let me get Vengeful Jedi here, a.k.a. Clint. Clint, you're on the air. Welcome to HorsePLAY Live.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I was just doing a kind of PSA about Irma and how folks are kind of overreacting in certain places, especially in Georgia. It's not as bad as my better half was saying. My wife made it sound like it was like zombie apocalypse, but people are cleaning out stores. Some of them are Florida refugees, but some of them are just folks that are like, oh my god, it's coming up here. And they don't pay attention to the part that says it's going to be like a tropical storm or Cat 1 by the time it gets to us, which we've been through worse. But it's going to be a fun week. That said, I went to the gas station on the way home from the airport, and they were perfectly stocked up. And gas wasn't hiked up beyond, the normal threshold. So, apparently a lot of our Walmart's water is gone and canned goods gone and all that stuff. And yeah, good times. Anywho, this will be a short show because I'm exhausted. And I already had something to drink. So I'm gonna sleep like a baby. This will be great.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. Clint.
Sleep will be good.
Clint here, a.k.a. Vengeful Jedi. We spent some time in Chicago. So we're having a good old time, and of course everyone else is talking about Destiny 2. That wasn't even on my radar at the moment, at least not for me personally. But we had some good time in Chicago, right?
Yeah, we did.
A lot of good food and drinks.
Oh yeah.
It was.
I couldn't make it home last night.
Yep, so you just crashed in my hotel.
Well, it was right around the corner from my job.
I know, it could have worked out better.
No, dude, that was perfect.
And with that, you still freaking took a cab.
It was chilly. I didn't have my hoodie.
Chilly. Oh my goodness. Killing me. It was like perfect this morning.
Yeah,
What was it like?
By the time you finally left.
It was like 55 this morning. And with the wind chill, I guess, maybe around 50. That's nothing. I'll still go out in shorts in that weather.
So that's a little cold for me. Like, see, I needed like a constant, like, 65, 70. Like,
Yeah.
if it hung around, like, 70 and never changed at all, that would be perfect.
Yeah, but that'd be kind of boring, too. It's good to have a little variance every now and then. Like, people go to California, especially San Diego, and they're like, oh, this weather's perfect. But, like, if you had that perfect weather year-round, you'd be bored with it pretty quick. Or at least I would. But
Yeah, but you know what, though? There's a misconception that people have about the people that live in areas like that. Like San Diego, like when I lived in South Florida, that, everybody's thinking, oh yeah, he's out in the sun all the time and, gotta have a hell of a tan and this and that. No. I was working, I was going to school, I was, busy with this and that activity. Like, I was not out enjoying the weather.
yeah, actually, yeah, it's funny because Floridians spend a lot of time inside in the AC. It cracks me up. All this talk of like the great weather, and it's like they're just running from AC to AC. So I know all about that.
I say, well, there's stuff to do. Life's not going to stop just because the sun's out.
Yeah, that too. But I think it's also because it's also easy to take that for granted. When you visit an area, you try to take advantage of those things, right?
Oh yeah.
When you live there, it's kind of like, oh, I'll get to it at some point. Bearded Hat in the chat says, because white people don't belong in the tropics.
Yeah,
and he can say that because he's white, so that's alright. It's self-deprecation, it's fine. Don't worry, folks. I also want to talk, I don't want to go, I'll probably leave a lot of this stuff for next week, but I did see the Death Note Netflix movie. It's an adaptation of the anime. And I gotta say, I was actually very impressed with it. I don't want to oversell it, but in some ways I enjoyed it more than the anime. There's a few opportunities. Like at first, it seemed like from the very onset they tried to make the main character, the protagonist, kind of paint him in a kind of bad light, and his name is Light, which is interesting. They kind of highlighted how he's doing nefarious things by helping students cheat and then charging them for that, for doing their homework and stuff. Then
is that really a bad thing? Because I used to do that in high school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's a gray area. Let's just say that. I don't want to get to that debate, but the way they did it,
big morality issue.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They kind of try to play it up like, oh man, because the original anime, Light, the whole thing with it that kind of pissed me off was Light was a vigilante, but he did seek justice, and then he got spiraled out of control with the power and started just like hitting everyone, you know. And here in the movie, the live action movie, it's a whole different thing. He actually still maintains his code, and it's other people around him that spiral out of control, which I like a lot better. And they also highlight how the detective L, played by Lakeith Stanfield, I believe, who was fantastic in the role. They highlighted a lot more how because it's something that anime they touched upon, but they didn't really follow it through all the way. L is just as bad as a criminal, which is why he's good at catching criminals. And, you know, it's a known fact. Well, I don't know if it's a known fact, but it's something. It is known by some folks. There's research that points to the fact that, you know, the best agents, the best criminal profilers are the ones that are kind of treading that thin line, right? So, because they understand that mindset. So,
well, you see that in other places too. Like, I mean, like, how long did the show Dexter run? And the whole thing was that he was a serial killer catching serial killers.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know about you, but I rooted for him.
I mean, the little bit of the series that I saw, I was rooting for him. And then there was a movie that was was a Spielberg movie that I loved. It was Catch Me If You Can, which was based on a true story.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
Basically, Leonardo DiCaprio was this guy called Frank Abagnale Jr. And he was doing all this. He was doing all this fraud, you know, with like all these checks and everything, and you know, he was basically a huge forger, you know, and he would do things like pose as like a doctor, a Pan Am pilot, things like that, and you know, the whole thing was how he would keep getting away. Tom Hanks was the agent pursuing him, and so on. But
that one that had Leonardo DiCaprio in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He played the forger, the criminal guy.
Okay, I remember now.
But anyway, long story short, in real life and in the movie, at the end, he eventually, you know, got caught, but they hired him on at the FBI, and now he's actually, with his knowledge and everything and his abilities, turned that into, you know, developing ways of detecting and catching forgeries and things like that. So, yeah, here's a professional forger turned, you know...
That's like White Collar. White Collar had a similar kind of thing, too. Did you ever get into that show?
I never saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's you know, he was primarily an art thief, but he was good at forgery. He was good at social engineering. It's just very suave. It was like a James Bond type of character, but using his stuff for evil. But he wasn't he still had a code, so he wasn't a real bad guy, so you rooted for him.
Yeah. Kind of like the Robin Hood syndrome.
Exactly.
Where he's stealing, but he's giving it to the poor and such. There's a comic book series that I started reading that deals with that, called The Tithe. It's an indie comic, and you have this terrorist group called Samaritan, and basically they're stealing from all of these mega churches, like places that are like misappropriating the funds, and you know where like the preacher's got like the private jets, and he's like secretly, you know, going down to like South America and screwing hookers and stuff like that. Well, anyway, you have this terrorist group going to all of these big churches, you know, like exposing the fraud in the churches, stealing a bunch of their money, and actually like donating and giving the money to, you know, proper charitable sources, you know, and actually making good with the money.
Yeah.
And you have these FBI agents that are pursuing them. Obviously, the one guy, you know, the one is all hard, straight-laced. No, we gotta catch these guys. They're criminals. They're terrorists. And the other guy's like, I'm not so sure. You know, it's like, I kind of agree with what these guys are doing. Yes, they're committing crimes, but, you know, he was like, they're doing the whole Robin Hood thing. You know, they're actually giving the money to where it needs to go.
So you gotta watch Death Note, because it kind of does the same thing where the general populace is all for what the protagonist is doing, but the folks that are like completely by the book and they'll see the bigger picture are like, nope, you have to follow the letter of the law. You can't. Who gives him the authority to take justice in his own hands? But meanwhile, they don't want to talk about the fact that his actions bring down crime rates and give people hope. You know, they did a really good job of highlighting that in the movie versus the anime. And the anime is still fantastic, but the anime is a lot more darker, and it's about how shit gets fucked up really quickly, even when you have the best of intentions.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole story of this is where this dude is given this book, and that if he writes somebody's name in it and sort of how they die, that'll happen. Like, that person will die that way.
Yes, but
okay.
But there's also like a shit ton of rules. I think they go through some of like 147, but it's even more than that. Okay. So yeah, that's the basic premise of it.
Okay, yeah, because I heard about it and I wanted to see it, and I know it's out, but I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's a quick run too. You know, it's one of those Netflix series, so you know, it's not a huge undertaking. It's very easily bingeable.
Oh yeah, I've binged a few Netflix things like within a day or so. Like, well, the Castlevania series, obviously, that's all back to back to back. That's like an hour and a half.
I still have to see that. Oh God.
Oh, dude, it's fucking great.
I've heard nothing but good things.
But then I watched this other show and I binged it in a day. It was called Friends from College.
Huh. I've heard of that one.
It's interesting. It's about, you know, all of these, you know, people that used to go to school together, and, you know, just the different pairings and situations that they're going through. And one of the guys is actually Fred Savage. He's like the one noticeable person that you actually know from all of this.
Wait, did you say Fred Savage?
Yeah, he's actually one of the... He's not playing himself, obviously, he's playing a character. But as far as the only notable actor that I've recognized in the whole thing, it's him.
Huh. Wonder Years 2.0.
Yep.
By the way,
not exactly.
I know, I'm just teasing. Yeah. I'm teasing. But Being in Hat in the chat makes a good point about how Death Note highlights the Dark Triad personality models, which revolve around 3 personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism. I know I'm butchering the word, and psychopathy. I can't even say the word right now. I'm tired and a little drunk. But the whole thing is, it's Dark Triad because it implies that all of these qualities have a malevolent, you know, a negative aspect to them. Though there could be some redeeming value, right? So, like, for example, narcissism would be characterized by a sense of being grandiose, you know, pride, being an egomaniac, or a lack of empathy, you know. So very interesting stuff. Definitely recommend getting into Death Note, the live action and the anime. Good stuff.
Yeah, I heard the anime was on Netflix too.
Yeah, it should be. It'd be weird if it wouldn't be. And people are gonna look it up. But like I said, the anime is very dark. It pissed me off. I get what they were doing, but it's just like, it's just fucked up. I like the way they handle it. on a TV show. Not necessarily a happy ending. I don't want to spoil it, but I think they handled it a lot better. And it's also a little different, slightly different tone, because there is a kind of romance subplot in there. I feel like you get a lot more backstory. They did a surprising amount of development with a few episodes. The anime had a lot more to work with. And, yeah, there was some slight pacing issues, because this, on the movie, they only have, on a movie, you only have, an hour and a half typically, or 2 hours if you're lucky, to develop something. So it did escalate very quickly, but I think, like, after the first 20 minutes, it was just perfect. They got into their stride. But, like, the first 20, 30 minutes, maybe, I would say, it's like, whoa, like, you just freaking shove shit down your throat, and you just, like, gulp, okay, thank you. So definitely highly recommend that. But, back to Chicago.
Yeah.
So, you're from Chicago area, Clint. And,
I'm currently here, yes.
Currently, yeah. You're one of the few people that responded to my, my little hail, like, hey, who wants to hang out in the Chicago area? Like, the people I knew were all, like, out of town, doing other events and stuff, and other business trips. I'm like, damn it, my timing sucks. But that was our game, because we got to just chill and have lots of good alcohol and smoke.
Well, it just happened that, you happened to hit me up during my work week right outside of where I work. I mean, it couldn't have been planned better.
And I'm not gonna put words in my mouth, but what was one of the best things of the night? There's only one right answer.
Oh yeah, dude, those fucking croquettes. Dude, that shit was amazing.
I keep talking about them whenever I get a chance. Like, dude, these croquettes are so good. Freaking cilantro yogurt dip. Ah, so good.
I need to go back there.
Yeah, not far from your job either. So now you have something you could do, like a little field trip whenever you're in the mood.
Yeah, or just like after work, just go there for a little bit.
Yeah. Actually, I like Oak Brook better than the actual, like, Chicago proper, just because it's less traffic and everything's very close to each other. Like, the Oak Brook Mall is pretty nice, and you got all this other stuff. They opened up that new Michael Jordan restaurant, which unfortunately I didn't get to go to this time. There's just so much to do, I just couldn't pack it in, but we did quite a bit. I mean, you joined me in Giordano's.
Yeah, and if you plan it out right, there's so much. Like, there's this... Well, I mean, around the Chicago area, it's pretty well known, but this theater called the Drury Lane, where they put on, like, different plays and stuff.
Ooh, I like that.
And, I mean, it's close enough that, I can literally walk there, like... It's... it's that close to my job. I can literally just walk there. And there's like 2 or 3 other hotels that are right there.
Yeah.
That are pretty common for people to stay at.
And they're all good too.
Oh yeah, and there's a bunch of good bars around the area and restaurants and.
I definitely gotta plug Poorhouse. That was, for being on a main strip, like part of a shopping mall. Yeah. It was really, really good. Like, I was really impressed. I had low expectations, and the food was fantastic. The drinks were fantastic. Like, man. Oh, my God. So good. I mean, when you eat a plate, and you have an entree, and the garnish is delicious. Little sprigs of parsley or asparagus, and you're like, oh, num, 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 num. And you're savoring that part. They're doing something right. Just the texture, the flavor, everything was just on point. And the presentation, even, like, they served it on nice platters, like fantastic. I definitely recommend that place.
Now, with the asparagus, was it the entire spear or was it just the tip?
The whole spear.
Nice.
The whole spear, and I ate every last bit.
Dude, that is awesome because a lot of places they'll give you like, pretty much, now granted I'm, kind of making pun here, but it's also true.
Just a tip.
Sometimes they'll give you just the tip or just a little bit, after it, but no, it's cool when a place will, give you the whole thing too.
Yeah, and they had
a place that does not skimp on what they give you is a good thing.
Yeah, they definitely, the portions are just right for the price. It's a little bit on the pricier side, but I guess it's what you would expect in Chicago area.
Yeah.
But if you travel a lot, it's a little slightly on the pricier side, but it's not like $100 steak dinner expensive.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as if you're in Chicago proper.
Yeah, exactly. And you definitely get your money's worth. You don't feel guilty. Like, there's no buyer's remorse afterward.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but next time we'll have to plan a little further ahead because there's so many great places and so many really cool things to see and do. And
oh, I know.
Just other amazing dining establishments to go.
See, what threw me off my game was I got in much later than I expected, about 8 hours later than I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just playing catch up, and then the event I went there for, was a business trip. Just like all the networking and post event stuff, just like the days kept getting away from me, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, I gotta leave tomorrow. So it's like, let's just pack as much as we can into this one evening. And I almost had half a mind of staying out late because it was still bumping downstairs, and there was still people out drinking and talking and by the fire pit. But I was like, you know what? If I stay out any later, I'm not gonna want to get up, and I'm probably gonna try to push up my flight, and that's not a good idea. I really need to get back home and check on things because, my wife did exaggerate. Things are not as bad as she said it was, but people are overreacting and buying up stuff and cleaning out the shelves in stores. But we're not gonna get hit, thankfully. But again, if you're in an area where you are gonna get hit, we're praying for you, and if there's any way our community can help, let us know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough on everyone. There's a whole ripple effect with this damn hurricane, and there's 2 others coming in too. That's crazy. Worst end of summer ever. But well, not completely, but I feel bad because we had a good old time, but then there's like shit going down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, when you're living in an area that is known for that kind of thing, I mean, I'm not saying that you're inviting it or anything, but I mean, yeah, you do have to be prepared for it. I can't say that you should just expect it, but kind of yes. Because I knew when I lived down there, I knew that I was going to be prone to hurricanes. And I know that's sort of a side effect of the area that I was in.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was hoping and praying every day that, these things weren't going to come.
Right.
But when they did, now granted, when I was down there, I got really lucky because stuff that they said was going to come directly for us would just change course, and we would just get, a little wind and some rain and stuff like that, and no real damage or anything. But I mean, you kind of have to expect it if you're in that area. But yeah, you do have to be prepared and, make your emergency plans and things like that.
You kind of talking to my brother, a few weeks ago, someone very dear to us in the community, old friend of mine, we've been in gaming clan since, I think around the late 90s. I know before 9/11 for sure. and he passed away, and it just came out of nowhere. You know, like the night before he was streaming, he was on Discord, we were chatting. It's just another day, you know. And the next thing you know, next day we hear he passed away. So I tell my brother, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard, but you know, this is right." He goes, "But you know, he was morbidly obese. You know, you had to expect it." I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck?" I'm gonna say yes to your response too, but it's made me think about that. It's like, well, you know, he knew what he signed up for. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can see that. I mean, you know, and I look at myself. I mean, you've seen me, you know. And, I mean, I know that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't say that I'm inviting these things, but I know I'm at greater risk for things to happen, you know, because I am that way.
Yeah. But I think what will help you is that, you know, you're pretty chill dude. Then again,
and I am working on things. I mean, yes, I am down, you know, because I am working on losing weight, and I am down like 45 pounds from where I was at before.
Yeah,
you know?
That's good. Yeah, we were talking about that too. I mean, we talked a long time. The time just flew by.
Oh yeah.
We should have had a little more time, but it was still we took advantage of it.
It was still a good time, yeah. No, we definitely maximized the time that we had.
Somehow we ended up watching reruns of 2.5 Men and Friends, which is a lot more entertaining when you're drunk.
That's what was on TV.
but it's a lot more entertaining when you're drunk, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, and then you got me, like, fucking drunk and Googling shit.
Did you like how I pulled everybody else into the conversation? Like, how do you say this word? And everybody's just fucked up. Like, how do you say it?
Yep. Yeah, and that was just the server, and then, you get up for something, you come back, and I'm just, like, mid-conversation with, that other group that came out there talking about fucking indoor skydiving.
Oh, yeah. The group that had she was kind of like a mix of Jennifer Connelly and Kristen Stewart, but she was really cute, but she had like resting bitch face.
Yes.
But I couldn't help but like look at her like, man, she's a very pretty young lady, but like she really looks like she's a bitch.
I was like, she looks moody.
Yeah. She had like her arms crossed and like she was all like rigid and kept looking at her phone like, so bored. Oh my god.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd have still hit it.
Yeah, you know, if I was in that position, yes, I would too. And being a hat, a.k.a. Taylor, just brought up, the two hurricanes that are on the side of Irma. Mm-hmm. Is Jose, and I forget the other one, Pedro, I don't know. One of them is definitely Jose. But it's supposedly Jose is going to hit New York as a Cat 3, Cat 2 in 10 days. Shit's going to be wild. Like it's like these hurricanes are hitting every place where my family's at. Puerto Rico, Florida. Oh my god. And King Deem, Nick, he's in Florida. He said something about being all up in Brandon, hunker down. I'm like, that sounds dirty, dude. But at least he's got a game plan.
No, but I think there is a town or something, or like down there called Brandon or something like that.
There is. Don't ruin my joke, Clint. Damn it. I like him being in Brandon in other ways.
Yeah, I can help it. I'm a little tired.
That's alright. We did have a long night.
We did, and then I was having trouble sleeping just because, beer makes me have to pee, so I was just constantly getting up.
Oh, I know. I'm a light sleeper, so he kept waking me up. I'm like, fuck, Clint, just sleep.
I wanted to. I couldn't. I had to piss.
He kept fucking with your phone. You kept fucking with your phone and stuff, and it kept going on like, motherfucker. I gotta drive half asleep.
Dude, I must have forgot to silence it.
It's alright. I was cracking it. But the bad part was, I got stuck in really bad traffic in Mannheim. You know how it gets out there. And
oh, shit, yeah.
so, like, and then I was trying to go to one gas station, but it was fucking gridlocked. So I said I had to, like, detour and find another one. And it was just a fucking nightmare. But it's a good thing I gave myself enough time. Because I had enough time to get to the airport, actually sit down and eat, and like have a cigarette before I checked in through TSA. Because after that, they don't have smoking booths anymore. Because everybody's fucking on the hipster bullshit, health conscious kick. You know what's unhealthy? Being stressed out. Let me smoke my fucking cancer stick. Stress will kill you before cancer does. You fucking assholes. Anyway,
that is true.
Yeah, it's very true. Like so much stuff. If you believe in holistic healing, so much stuff just goes back to like your state of mind, you know, and how you manage stress. Cause stress is good because it creates urgency, but not having a good handle on it and letting it spiral out of control, that's where bad things happen, you know.
Yep.
We talked about this last night too. Deja vu.
Oh, no, we're just continuing the conversation from last night.
Exactly. But hopefully I have more reasons to go back out there. But I think next time I'm just gonna freaking be lazy and just Uber around and not drive. So I have to deal with that part. Uber and hotel shuttles.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got, the means at your disposal. Like, it was kind of nice having, what's his name, that dude pick us up last night.
Oh, yeah, he's really cool, too.
Yeah, the Haitian dude.
Yeah, he was a really good dude. I gave him a good tip, and he was like, his mind was blown. That just tells you how stingy people are with tips.
Well, dude, around that area right there, Oak Brook, that's one of the more financially affluent townships in the area. And, yeah, a lot of those people can be assholes. Just stingy, greedy assholes.
People with money are the greediest people. It's funny. It always works out that way. But the people that are like, middle class, just, making an honest living, but not like living in the seat of luxury, they're more generous,
Yeah. Like back in the day when I used to work at Taco Bell, it was in this town called Orland Park. And yeah, out there, a lot of people had money, and they loved acting like it. And yeah, when I was there, I would just get treated like shit, by these customers. And,
oh yeah,
and they're sitting there, treating me like I don't know anything. And I was going to school at the time. I was on the dean's list. I was, getting top marks in all my classes and everything. And the only reason I was working specifically at Taco Bell was because I knew the manager and he was willing to work around my schedule. And would give me as many or as few hours as I wanted. And then he'd kind of disregard that and call me, like, just whenever I wasn't there and like, dude, Clint, can you help me out? But, you know what? If I could, I did, because he was helping me out. So, but, he was really cool like that. But then...
You know what?
I even mouthed off to one of them because I was like... Because they said something like me being, just, stupid or lazy or not applying myself. I'm like...
Oh, God.
I had my book bag right there with my biology, because I was taking biology at the time. I cracked down the book and I'm like, would you even be able to understand half the things that are in this book? I'm like, I do. I'm like, I'm getting an A in this class, just to let you know.
People are quick to make snap judgments, you know.
Yeah, they're fucking horrible.
And you know, and the thing is, there are really smart, skilled people in shit jobs or jobs that they need to do because the marketplace isn't as good as it could be.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are absolute dumbasses that are in high-paying positions, and it's just inequities all around us. So people want to make assumptions like, look at you, you work in food service. That means you can't get anything else. Like, well, that doesn't mean shit, because I know people that have freaking high-level degrees flipping burgers, so eat a dick.
Yeah.
Yep. What did Beard say? Dumbass people in job, they shouldn't be looking at Equifax. What? What? Oh my god. He kills me. Beard is so cynical, but I love him. I was gonna say something, and I totally brain farted. So you know, I kind of did an unofficial survey from all the locals, taxi drivers, the people at the airport, people at the hotel, and I was like, all right, so what is the definitive best place to get deep dish? And like the answers were all over the board. So like Giordano's obviously comes up for most people because they made a name for themselves. And I like Giordano's a lot. I might like Original Uno's Pizzeria better.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing I noticed is that like there were people that talked about Sopranos and some lesser known places. And okay, everybody talk about Giordano's or what's the one, Illuminati's? I don't know.
Yeah, Illuminati's is the other.
Illuminati's. I keep saying Illuminati like join my cult.
Oh no, it's not the Illuminati. It's Lou Malnati's.
Illuminati's.
Yeah.
I think I've had pizza there too. Like, I don't remember it though.
It's good. And then another really amazing place in Chicago is Gino's East.
Yes, and that was one thing a few people said, that Gino's East is better than Giordano's, and then I heard Sopranos, which somehow is lesser known, even though it has a very popular name, is actually probably the best. But you know, it doesn't have the brand recognition. You don't know that one? So that's gonna be your homework. It's just find that place and report in.
I can do that.
Let's see here. What's going? Yeah, a bunch of stuff just happened. Chat. Beard said the chief security officer was a music major. Where? Who? Where? What? That must have been an older comment. I have a tendency to do that to people. What were we saying earlier? This is what Nick said.
Talking about like people's reactions. Like when I was at Taco Bell, people were treating me like shit, even though they didn't realize I was all educated and being there as a favor
to judge people. Yeah, like kind of profile them. Beard said no formal training in information security, and it's her fault more than half the USA social security numbers are out in the wild.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see what he's talking. He's talking about the Equifax leak. Nah, it's all coming together. Sorry, I'm sleep deprived and drunk, so I never fully recovered from last night. So
yeah, I had a slow start to the morning.
I noticed. I was gonna ask you, you okay, dude? I was like, that's why I was like, you know, because I was about to offer it to just drive you, because I could tell you had that like look in your face, like, I don't think I'm gonna go into work today. I'm like, don't do it. Don't let me be a bad influence.
Dude, that's my struggle every single day. That is
okay.
my debate.
Okay, so it wasn't me. Okay.
Oh no, it didn't help matters any that you were there, because I was like, hey, we could actually spend a little bit more time together before you go.
Oh, got it.
But then I'm like, no, I don't want to call off and, you know, waste the PTO hours.
If that happened, it would have been bad.
Because I'm at the point where I'm trying to conserve them.
Yeah. For Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that I have that trip completely covered.
Are they good about UPTO? Like if you just decide, okay, I'll just not get paid for these days. Some companies don't like you doing that.
I'll work with them though. I mean, no, they're pretty much no. If you've got it, you need to take it. And plus, if you don't use it, like if your check is like short in hours, it does actually impact the amount of PTO that you accrue for that pay period.
Yeah. That's pretty standard, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to fuck with that. Plus, if I do end up like needing a day off or something like that, like if I can plan it ahead, I will like stay late, make up hours, come in on my day off, things like that to adjust for it.
Yeah. But I do want to backpedal real quick.
Yeah.
So we talk about places to eat.
Yes.
But I want to talk about places to stay. This is my unofficial plug. We're not getting paid to say this, but the Hyatt McDonald's campus is like the Hyatt Lodge at the McDonald's campus is really cool. It is fantastic. Like what a great escape. Like it's like a little hidden world inside of there. That place is massive, and plenty of parking. The hotel itself is huge. It's great for events. But I really like the vibe a lot more at Le Méridien. The staff is like super friendly. You get so many things complimentary. Food was great. The drinks were great. The fire pit, I really like that place a lot.
Dude, and the way that they had that fire pit closed out, it's like I said, kind of closed off to the, to the street and everything. I mean, like I said last night, I literally felt like I was somewhere else. Yep,
exactly. It's like a little escape, from all the hustle and bustle of the big city. Definitely a big fan. And I mean, I've stayed at all types of hotels, from like shitty roach motels to like 5-star hotels like the Ritz-Carlton, or nice the W. A lot of the W's tend to be pretty high end, if not 5-star, 4-star. But like this is Le Méridien is a 4-star, but like it didn't feel pretentious, It's definitely upscale, but like you felt comfortable, and it's a great mixed crowd. All the amenities you really want. Like I like the music, and just everything about it was just awesome. Like I can't think of any way to say it.
The music was very cool. Like what they were putting through in the lobby, and like even the elevators. It wasn't like your standard, kill me now. I love elevator music.
Yep.
Like I wanted to almost stop the elevator and just chill for a few minutes, because I was, it was a nice chill tune. Like it wasn't relaxing me to a point where I wanted to go to sleep or anything, but it was like nice right in the middle there. Like I could just chill like that for a while.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a very cool experience, and they play that music throughout different parts of the hotel too. So you're in the bathroom, or you're in the little outside seating areas, in the elevator. Like I really enjoyed it. Definitely would go again.
Oh, me too.
And if you happen to be a Starwood preferred member, with Starwood SPG, a Starwood preferred guest, you can earn points towards hotel stays and flights, and then you can stay at other Starwood properties. Just that's like such an infomercial now, because there's a lot more hotels than the Méridien, like the W. Guys, just a whole slew of them. I can't think of them right now. Weston proper, This other ones too. I can't think of them right now. Yeah, I'm tired. But yeah, La Meridian, fantastic. I was really worried about it too, because like, oh, it's a French kind of themed place. It's gonna be very foo-foo, pretentious, but it was really cool. Like, everybody was genuinely cool. Like, there were points where I had to actually pry myself away from good conversations and interactions, because like, I really need to get shit done and stop procrastinating. And the staff there is so friendly. They copped me on some of my like drinks and stuff, like out of nowhere. I was like, oh wow, I must have made a good impression.
Nice.
Yeah, so huge fan of
some legit nice people around the area like that.
Yeah, definitely. So I can't recommend that place enough. It was just really good. Like, and I personally, I thought those beds were very comfortable.
Oh, dude, it was. It was not making my decision to go to work any easier.
Like, it was just the right amount of firmness and then like plush. I was like, oh god.
And I loved having just all those pillows. I love those pillows.
Yes. Yep. I usually like to take 2 for my head and like 2 as body pillows. So I'm like just not bending my spine, like contorting myself, you know?
Dude, I was like practically spooning one of the pillows. I was just like, just hugging it. And I'm just like, oh my god, I love this pillow.
It was a good pillow. I had half of mine to take one with me, but I was like, no, let me not do that.
Yeah, don't do that shit.
Though I have taken like towels, like nice plush towels, or like robes in the past, but I was like, this is on the company dollar, and that's all I need to do is have them bill it back. Realize it's gone and bill it back to my business card, and I'm like, what's this about, Yomar? Like, yeah, I don't know.
See, I usually limit the stuff I take to like the toiletry stuff, like the mouthwash or like the soap and shampoo. And
Yeah, they don't care about that shit. Yeah, you get as much of it as you can. Just keep asking for it when there's different people on staff. There's no shame in that, cause like they always have like really good shit, and it's a small container, so you have to worry about TSA giving you a hard time. Cause if you bring big bottles of liquids, it's a freaking big to do. What a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Post 9/11 travel is almost not fun. And when I finally touched down in Augusta, I practically kissed the ground. I was like, oh my god, yes.
Dude, that's me every time I travel now. In fact, because you mentioned post 9/11, I actually went, like, after 9/11 happened, I actually went to New York that December.
Oh my god, crazy.
My sister was living out there, and me and my aunt and one of my cousins went out there to visit. And, we went to, New York, and we were doing the whole Times Square thing. But yeah, dude, just the travel and shit to get there was, just to get through the TSA, they're searching me in places I'd never been searched before. Like I was, kind of hoping for a little dinner first, and afterwards almost felt like I needed a cigarette.
Well, you always need a cigarette. That's never a wrong call, in my opinion.
Well, you know what I mean, the post-coitus, practically.
Yep. No, I hear ya.
I was like, do they authorize you guys to go that deep?
I don't mind being searched by the women. Just gonna put that out there. There's some semi-attractive TSA agents. But
we try to take everything out of your pockets. Oh no, honey, that's attached.
Yep. But they actually have gotten better, just because now they don't do the wand searches. They just put you in that little booth, and that scans you. So that does cut down a lot of the bullshit. 'Cause a lot of times those wands get false positives, and they have to go to the little side thing, and then they have to like pat you down and do all the awkward shit, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at them! He's got a beard, so he must be a terrorist." It's like, oh my god, but
oh yeah,
I hate the whole taking off your shoes and your belt shit. It's like you almost have to dress a certain way when you travel now by air, just to avoid that shit. It's like
yeah, and then people look like, because some of my family is older school where, you kind of dress up a little, or, like me, I'm like, nope, just give me a nice, big comfy t-shirt and like my track pants. My mom's like, why are you going to wear that shit in traveling? Because there's no metal on these. Because even on jeans, you got like your zippers, and some of them have like little metal studs around, like certain parts in the pockets and things. And it's like, nope, I don't want anything setting off in that TSA line.
Yep.
Or finding a nice pair of like slip-on shoes or something that I can easily slip on and off. Or
hey, notice now they have the duty-free stores that sell like the gel slip-ons,
Yep.
Like they know what people are thinking. Like, fuck, I gotta take out my shoes. I might as well just fucking have like slip-ons, just like put them in there and then walk barefoot and then put them back on, easy peasy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to get there, but then, it's like you said, once I land at my destination, I'm like practically kissing the ground. I'm like, thank you, I am so glad I'm here.
Yep. Oh yeah, like I started to like miss it. I got the little slight melancholy you get when you're about to like end your quote unquote vacation. I mean, I was working throughout it, but it was still nice change of pace. But like, I was mostly just looking for like, I need to get back home and just be back in my element where I have my routines down pat.
I hear you, and you've got your comfort zones and places that you want to be.
Yep.
And things like, I love being able to just be in my big comfy chair in front of the TV with no pants.
Oh yeah, the ability to just get home and take your pants off. You can't put a price on that.
Oh no. I mean, it's funny because you hear women talk about like one of their favorite. Because I've heard many women say this, that their favorite part of the day is when they get to come home from work and take off the bra. 'Cause with the uncomfortable underwires or whatever, you hear them bitch about. No, me? Yeah, let me strip off those pants.
Yep.
It's just even if I'm, going down to like these shorts, because I've got, these shorts that, I mean, they were made that way, but they're basically like the same material as sweatpants. But, but in shorts, and they're like the most comfortable thing. And I'm like, I just don't want to have like my entire lower half covered. I'm like, I'll wear the shorts, that's fine, for decency for the other roommates, but comfort, that is what I'm looking for.
Me too.
You can't get that, and you can't fully get that when you're traveling, when you're out.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter where you go or who you're with. It's just not home. It's just not where you're at.
it's true. It is very true. Oh man, but it was a good end of week for sure. It's gonna suck for me because I really only worked a full day last week, one full day last week. I mean, I worked here and there. The business trip, there was work, but it was a different kind of work, right? But like standard work, I only worked one full day. We had Labor Day off, So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be so off my game because I'm still like I have to decompress,
Mm-hmm.
I might have to keep a bottle of scotch or something in my desk now. Why does Yomar smell like alcohol?
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't get a lot of questions when I came into work this morning because I showed up a little bit early and, in the same clothes from yesterday, and yeah, nobody questioned anything.
There you go. I think people usually know if you come back to work in the same clothes, like, oh, you spent the night somewhere, you sly dog, you.
Uh-huh. But I had to assure them that there were no shenanigans.
Other than watching 2.5 Men.
Yeah, and, Googling Ashton Kutcher for the same reason.
Did we ever figure out how he was? Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Because remember, he was the billionaire guy that was going to, throw himself in the ocean because he was depressed and it failed.
We actually caught some of his origin story in the couple episodes we watched. Where he's like, oh, my life is so hard. Women love me so much. And the other dude's like, I don't see the problem.
Yep. But then you had the other episode with when Charlie Sheen was still in there, just kept walking in on the brother while he's trying to, get himself going.
Oh God.
Dude, that is the worst. That is the worst, most embarrassing thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if someone walks in on you and you're doing that, you don't talk about it, but you always wonder like how much did they actually see?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was walked in on once, and I mean the way that it was being played off was like they had no idea what was going on. Because I was undercovers and stuff.
It's a safe way to do it.
Yeah, like they had no idea what was going on. But there's still that embarrassment, just like, oh shit, I was caught.
Yeah. Oh man. People that don't have sense of boundaries. No. Well, I am definitely. What's that?
I hate those people.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
But then again, I sometimes have no filter and no boundaries. Like I'll walk up to like my buddy Jimmy at work and mess with him sometimes. Like I'll just like start like petting and stroking the back of his head.
Yeah, but that's because you developed that comfort level, right?
Well, no, because I know it irritates him and it makes him. But he deserves it. He invites it on himself, though. Motherfucker has a clown mask at his desk, and he snuck up behind me one day wearing it.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
He got what was coming to him. My supervisor couldn't even say anything against it. Because I'm sitting there at my desk and dude sneaks up behind me wearing the clown mask, so I elbowed him in the junk.
Oh my god, nice. By the way, before we start wrapping up, did you ever have fronteras?
No.
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
Oh, okay. That might have to be next time I go up there. They make some really good sandwiches, like kind of panini style, but with like a Latino twist. It's pretty good, man. I'm talking about like black beans and avocado spread. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Dude, kind of like that taco that I made that I showed you.
Yes. I knew you were like totally like stalling and debating if you wanted to go to work when you like cause you spent a good amount of time showing me recipes. Like you don't want to go to work tomorrow, do you?
No, I was trying to avoid it. And I will fight till the last second, and then I just give out. You know what? Fuck it, I'm just going. I'm like, I can't turn back now. I'm at that point.
See, that's why I was trying to be the responsible one and be like, let's head up to the room, because if not, we're gonna be here like 2 or 3 more hours and like not want to get up in the morning.
Dude, I was gonna find every excuse and reason, and I was just gonna start pulling up the most random shit just to drag it out.
Oh, I know. I could be a pretty bad procrastinator sometimes too. So.
Dude, I would have started pulling up like the origins of Christmas if I had to.
I'd be okay with that. I actually really like Christmas time.
Oh, me too.
I'm one of those weirdos that likes the music. Like people get annoyed by it, but I'm like, bring it on. Let's go.
Oh, not me. I'm all about Halloween.
Halloween's good too.
You know, and I hate like you get Christmas music starting like right after Halloween. I hate that.
Yeah, most people do. I'm like in the 1%. I know I'm weird.
Like I can accept it in the month of December, but I think the reason it irritates me is because I think people overlook Thanksgiving way too much.
That's true.
People are ready for Christmas right after Halloween. I'm like, no, there's Thanksgiving.
No, that's actually very true. Like Thanksgiving is a big thing for my family. You know, we have a big spread. We invite people, especially people that are going through some hard times. We always invite like a few people that like are going through a rough patch. But like, come on over. You know, you don't have to bring anything. Just come over, enjoy some time, free food. You know, just good time. You know, relax. You know, a lot of time when you go to a Thanksgiving dinner, it's kind of like potluck style. Everybody's kind of expected to bring something, right? But you know, everybody goes through rough patches, and you say, just bring yourself.
Dude, the last thing I brought to a Thanksgiving was empty Tupperware.
That is worth its weight in gold.
Oh, dude, it was great. I even brought like different like sandwich bags and things like that, like the big like gallon size like the freezer ones.
See, that's the toughest part about Thanksgiving is all that food and getting it put away. And like, if you don't have people that are gonna be dedicated to that job, it falls on the person that actually, like, people that already cooked the food. It's like, wait, I gotta cook this shit, spend all day long getting everything prepped, then eat it, get the itis, and still put it away? Oh no.
Yeah, no, they were like, because it's my brother-in-law's parents, you know, where we usually end up, and no, they're like, dude, by all means, get rid of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's less stuff for us to manage.
Yep.
I'm like, this is going to feed me for, like, the next 3 days. Thank you. Yeah, they're looking at it as, I'm doing, like, no, they're doing me a favor. I don't have to go to the store and go grocery shopping this week.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is awesome.
Stretch that shit out.
That's one of the few things I miss about living in New York City is going to like the Thanksgiving Day parade and really getting that spirit. Like, this is a whole thing, but still, it's just great just getting together with family and enjoying the meal together and just sharing and on a different level.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I'm about to tap out, man.
I've been valuing that more, but yeah. No, I definitely got to go too because I got to pee.
Yeah. So before you go, why don't you tell us about what you do when you're not drinking and procrastinating?
I pee. No, I'm kidding.
You pee. I pee frequently.
Yes. No. Actually, well, I work for Redbox DVD. I do tech support and actually write some video game reviews for them. And outside of that, I'm on a couple of podcasts. I'm the host of the GeekDig podcast. Just go to geekdigpod.com. It has all of the links to everywhere where the podcast is. But all of the big places, iTunes, Stitcher, Satchel Player, Google Play, iHeartRadio.
Satchel, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I got in on that.
That's a good one.
Beta.
Yeah, Satchel's great. Yeah. Good call.
I wish there was more apps. Like, I wish it was on more apps, like on the Xbox even, or stuff like that.
Yeah, they need to get on that.
Like, I'm trying to get on Spotify right now, especially because they have the app for that on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want my podcast available on the Xbox. That's what I want. But anyway, I'm the host there. GeekDigPod.com, at GeekDigPod on Twitter and Instagram, and check out Facebook.com/groups/GeekDigPod. There's always some fun shenanigans going on in the group, in the group there. Some fun posts. Like to throw in some questions. And other than that, I'm also one of the co-hosts of the Green Up podcast. We just came out of hiatus because one of our main host was moving and relocating and starting a new job and everything. But go to greenuppodcast.com or hit up Green Up Podcast on Twitter, and there you can find the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Let's see, I just learned something new.
And then I also make regular appearances.
Oh, I lost you. Regular appearances at what?
Horrible Gamerz.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Which I was kind of surprised they didn't ask me to come on tonight.
Yeah, they asked me last week, and then they found someone else. I'm like the bottom of their list. I'm like, oh, guys, I was ready. It's all right. They're good guys.
It was me, actually, that went on there last week.
Hey, let's get the other fat bald guy instead.
Well, what? Did you just call me bald?
Listen, we're both bald.
I know.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, because normally the first response is people like, you just call me fat, you motherfucker. I'm like, dude, I am. I admit it. And, well, I know I'm bald, too. I embrace it. Bald is the new sexy.
It is. And bearded, too. I saw a lot of beards at the airport. At the airports, really.
Yes. Dude, bearded is awesome. Like, my coworkers tell me I'm not allowed to shave. Because apparently I have the second most majestic beard in the department. Since my buddy Reed started working there, he actually has a bigger beard than me. But
see, I have to because I get profiled so hard. It's like, oh, olive complexion and thick beard. He must be Muslim and he must be a terrorist.
Yeah, they assume that, but yet you're Hispanic, which is I've seen that plenty of times with my buddy Fernando. He's Mexican, but when he doesn't shave, he looks Muslim. Yep.
And people, when I grew my beard out, I get a lot of people walking up to me, Assalamu alaikum. I'm like, yes, I like to alaikum, and we just part ways. That's my thing. By the way, I'm Yogizilla. I'm Yogizilla everywhere. YOGIZILLA. Particularly on Xbox Live, but mostly on Twitter these days. Because I haven't been doing much gaming. I know, shame on me. Yeah. Bad me. But if you want to join us for ongoing banter, We have a pretty active Discord server for the Geeky Antics Network. That's over at geekyantics.net/Discord. And a pretty steady flow there at all hours of the day. Of course, geekyantics.net/podcast. If you want to check out some of our other shows. We've been kind of slacking on some of our other friends, but we have other shows that we syndicate and some exclusive shows as well, like the Gaming Death podcast, which you can catch at twitch.tv/Gaming Death. We do this show live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. And we do other shows sometimes, like our Doctor Who podcast, Tea Time. We've been kind of putting that on the back burner, but man, I'm hankering to talk about some Doctor Who. Has me to carve out the time and find someone that's just as crazy about it as I am. By the way, before I ramble on anymore, do you? You have to send them my way. Have them PM me on Facebook.
Okay.
I need some people to nerd out with, especially before the Christmas special.
Yeah, my buddies Mark and Seth would definitely be prime candidates for that.
Okay, good. Because I'm actually one of the weird Doctor Who fans that likes Peter Capaldi. I'm kind of sad to see him go away, but that's for another day, another discussion.
And they're both fellow podcasters, so they know the drill.
There you go. Let's do more networking. Get them connected with me.
Will do.
Anyway, I'm Yogizilla, and that guy over there, that sexy beast, is Vengeful Jedi, a.k.a. Clint. That's pretty good. I wasn't ready for that. Oh my god, everything's so funny to me when I'm like super tired. I'm gonna have to giggles now. We'll see you guys next week for episode, what are we up to? 196 of HorsePLAY Live. And hopefully this time will be at a regular scheduled time, Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern. Peace. Say bye.
Bye. Peace out, Brussels sprout.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I stole that from Horrible Gamerz.
And they stole that from Becker's from XD.
From the Gidget. I never talked to her. I never met her, but
She is so cute. I'm gonna go on record and say Gidget is one of the cutest girls I know.
like, that's just an adorable name. Like, anybody can be called Gidget, just has to be adorable.
She is absolutely adorable. And a very good makeup artist too. Big fan. So yes, that'll be our note. Peace out, Brussels sprouts. See you next week.